So this is going to be the third time I'm trying to film this video, so it might feel a little bit more rushed than if it was the first time I'm trying to film it. I was trying to do something different and film with the, not the front facing side of my phone, but the one with the better quality, because it's such a dark atmosphere right now. But I'm so sick. I'm over it at this point. So I hope this turns out. If not, rest assured that the next update for this project will be 1,000 times better, 1,000 times better lighting, better quality, everything. So in case this is the very first video you've ever seen from my Project Polish series, what I decided to do is at the beginning of the year, I just pick out a handful of polishes that I would like to move through and use up throughout the year. And as I go through them, I just add in replacement polishes. So as you can see here on my nail swatch here, all of the polishes that have a little X next to them, those have been used up and taken out of the rotation, and these ones that don't have any markings on them underneath them, like right here, those are still in the current rotation. So as of right now, I only have 4 actual polishes in the rotation. I was able to finish off 1 polish since the last update. I'll start with that one. This is the China Glaze polish in Shower Together, and let's see if that'll help you see that. All of the markings on the bottle there, and I was right down at that very last mark there at the last update. So essentially this had 1 last application for my fingers, and I used that up. It's a beautiful color. I really enjoy it. It's somewhat of like a teal shade, but with a lot more blue added into it. It's a little bit deeper, but not too dark. I like it. It's a pretty nice polish. I did have to dump a ton of thinner into this to get the last application out. So what I do when it gets down to the very, very, very bottom, and it's super hard to get any polish out, I'll dump a ton of thinner in here, probably between 10 to 12 drops, depending on how much polish is in the actual container. And then to get polish out, I literally tip it upside down like this, and I get it onto the brush like that, and just paint my nails that way. So, not everybody's gonna want to do that. I wouldn't call it OCD, but I do have kind of an obsession of getting that last drop out of these polishes. Sometimes when I'm doing that, the little metal balls that mix up the polish in there, sometimes they'll pop out. I even have one rolling around. Let me show you here. It popped out the last time. So, can you see that? The little mixer balls. Sometimes they pop out when you do that. So you gotta be careful. Definitely have something underneath you, like a napkin or a paper plate or something, just in case you drop a little polish. Some people, they just open up the polish and then pour just a little bit out into like a plastic plate. So, you're not letting it soak up into the plate. But if you just dump a little out and then paint your nails that way, some people do it that way. I've done that in the past. It works just fine. I just find it 1,000 times easier just to dump some thinner in here and just scoop it out as it's coming down the neck of the bottle. Anyway, this one was finished off. Thank goodness. That one's been hanging around for quite a while, and I've had just the smallest amount in there for a very long time. Moving along down the line, the next one that is in, on my swatch wheel here is this kind of velvety, almost matte looking polish. It doesn't have a shiny finish when it dries. It has like this matte, semi-matte, velvety finish. It is my Wet n Wild Fergie polish in the shade 007 Miami Spirit. I love the shade of this. It has the finest, almost minuscule little glittery shimmery pieces in it. You can't really detect it once it's, in the matte, if you let it dry matte, or if you put a matte top coat over it. But if you put a shiny top coat over it, sometimes you can kind of pick up these slight shimmers if you're in the sun or in just the perfect lighting. They're not very noticeable, but this is a gorgeous color. I think that these have been discontinued, but I'm sure that like China Glaze or OPI or somebody Someone has a dupe to this shade. I really like this one. And I know it might be a little difficult to see, but I was right there at the last update and I got down to there. Essentially in between each of these little markings, for the most part, it is 2 manicures on my fingernails. Nothing, I haven't used this one on my toes. So just using this on my fingers twice in a month, I do have that much progress every time. And since the fact that these only have 0.42 fluid ounces in them compared to the standard nail polish bottle that has 0.5, I think that this is definitely a contender and one of the polishes that I could use up before the end of December. So there was that one. Next up, moving down the line, I have this really pale, kind of light pink color right there, and this is my MAC nail lacquer in Snob. They also have a lipstick in the shade Snob and a lip gloss. And this was a little disappointing because this is more of just like a pale neutral pink, I guess I would describe it as, and the actual lipstick, which is, it's been one of my all-time favorite lipsticks from MAC for, you know, a couple of years now. It's a completely different tone. It's much more cool tone. But this one, it's pretty. I do like to do something else to the polish, whether I do an ombre look with it or if I put some glitters on the tips or something. I like to just jazz this one up a little just because it's kind of like blah on my nails. It's very pretty, but I do have to put 3 coats down, which does use up you know, a considerable amount of polish every time. And to top it off, these MAC polishes, they only have 0.34 fluid ounces, which is a little bit less than what comes in the Wet n Wild Fergie polishes, so not a ton in here to begin with. I definitely think that this one could be used up before the next update because I really tried to focus on this one since the last update. I really didn't have much progress in between the 2 lines there, so at the last update I was right there. I got all the way down to there. I really focused on using this one on my fingers and on my toes. I think last time that I did an update I had just been using it on my toes. That's why there was just such, you know, the slightest little bit of a change. Another shade here is this one that's actually on my nails currently, but I also have the swatch there for you. This is one of my favorite fall polishes. I like wearing it in the fall time, sometimes in the winter, and I do actually like it in the summertime. I don't really reach for this one during the springtime for some reason, kind of odd, but this is the Hansen Complete Salon Manicure in number 440 Punch Drunk. Really pretty color. It's more of like a pinky purpley berry. I think I give this polish a different description every single time that I do an update on this, but I really tried to focus on this sucker here. I did not have a lot of progress at my last update, so I really wanted to make an effort and make a point to use the polishes in my project. Sometimes I'll get really bored and it gets a little monotonous using the same polishes repeatedly over and over again, so I'll reach for something that's not in my project, but this one I really made an effort to use. I was there at the last update and I got down to there, so extremely happy about this. These are the standard 0.5 fluid ounce bottles, so these have, you know, the most amount of polish in them out of all of the polishes that I have left in my rotation. So this one, if I'm being realistic, this is probably not going to be finished off before the end of the year, but I'm okay with that because I probably won't have very much left in here anyway, so I'm okay with that. But this is a really beautiful polish. You can find it at the drugstore. I don't really feel like Sally Hansen is that expensive of a polish compared to some other ones, but anyway, moving on. The next one, this is actually one of my all-time favorite green polishes. This is probably in my top 10 favorite polishes. This one, I think that they've actually discontinued this from the drugstore line when they reformulated and redesigned their bottles and everything, but this is one of the NYC and a New York Color Minute Quick Dry polishes in number 298 Highline Green. And I was right there at the last update and I got down to there. Not too shabby. These again have 0.33 fluid ounces. They have about the same roughly the same as the MAC ones, so I could for sure make a lot of progress on this green one if I really wanted to. I'm kind of pumping the brakes a little bit because I can't find this easily. I could make an online order, but man, that's such a hassle for such an inexpensive polish. You know what I mean? I think these are like $1 or $1.50 or something, but anyway, there was that one. Love this one. I think it's absolutely beautiful. You could do this one in one coat. Generally speaking, I like to do 2 thin coats with this polish, but I'm probably going to take the polish off my nails after this video, and probably, I would say I'm probably going to repaint it green because I do have a Christmas party, a family Christmas party that I need to drive back down to my hometown to tomorrow, and, you know, Christmas party, green polish. So I do have some extra swatches here, if you might have noticed, maybe you didn't, but I have 3 extra polish swatches. And I was doing a makeup inventory update for you guys. I'll link that down in the description box. I think that most of you have probably already seen that by now, but when I was going through my polishes and laying them all out, I picked out 3 additional polishes to toss back into my project polish, and I wasn't really thinking because after the November update, I have 1 month and then my project's over for 2016. So realistically speaking, I'm probably not going to focus on these 3 very much. I'll probably put most of my attention on these 4 that are left in the project at the moment, and you know, if I use these here and there, fine, but I'll probably just roll these 3 over into the next year's project polish. I am planning to do this again for 2017, so just really quickly I wanted to just show you what they were in case you were curious. This super pretty glittery one, you can use this as an accent nail sometimes if you build it up. I'd say if you put 2 or 3 coats down, you can have a pretty opaque glitter, but this is one of the Maybelline Color Show Jewels in number 608, Gilded in Gold. I really like this one for just putting on the tips of my nails as if I was doing a French manicure, but with glitter polish. Then next up, these 2 right here, these last 2, they are actually both julep polishes. I've never personally bought myself julep polishes. I did pay for a couple month subscription for my mother to receive it, and she doesn't like the way that they feel on her nails. I think she said that she didn't feel like her nails could breathe very well. I don't notice a difference, but everybody's nails are different. So the first one in the swatches is this guy right here. This is a really pretty nude. It's opaque enough to where, you know, it still looks like a natural nail look, but it's sheer enough to where you could use this for like a French manicure too. This one is in the shade Jennifer, and that is that guy there. These julep polishes really don't have a ton of polish in them to begin with. These have about half the amount as your standard 0.5 fluid ounce bottles, so you could go through 2 of these julep ones in the same amount of time as using up 1 full-size standard nail polish bottle. So I think that was one of the reasons why I picked them out, and I haven't used up a julep polish yet. So the last one that is on the swatch wheel is this one here in Whitney. I think this one is really pretty. This has like a grayish taupey kind of tone to it. Super pretty on the nails. I really like this. And again, there was the swatch for Whitney, and then that one was Jennifer, and that was the Maybelline Color Show Jewel glitter. So anyway, this is what my swatch wheel looks like. Obviously, it's getting down to the wire. I don't have a lot of time left, but I'm going to make it a point to paint my nails 3 times a week up until the end of the year. If you guys are planning to do this for 2017 as well, let me know. I'd love to follow along, whether you're doing it on Instagram or on YouTube. Let me know. Leave me a comment down in the description box. I can go over and check it out. But anyway, that is it. Hopefully this time around this video turns out. I know there's shadows and glare and all kinds of stuff going on, but I'm I'm so sick, I couldn't even care at this point. The next videos, next set of videos will have much better lighting, much better quality. So thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.